everybody, welcome back to our channel. I hope you guys are having a great week. This is Rebecca Stu and the crew. I'm Rebecca, and today we're going to be doing 2 easy DIYs using the same Dollar Tree sign that I picked up in the leftover patriotic aisle from the 4th of July. So the first project we're going to make is a pilgrim hat, and the supplies you're going to need obviously is this hat sign. You're also going to need 4 of these Jenga block building pieces, a couple of these little fake leaves that they sell in the bags at Dollar Tree. You'll also need some coordinating ribbon. I chose to use scrapbook paper though. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby. It's called Traditional Floral Paisley. 112094 is the number. You're also going to need some natural twine, a pair of scissors, some hot glue, and then you're also going to need some paints. I chose to use black on this one, and then I did use a gold paint marker that I also picked up at the Dollar Tree, and you're going to need some paint brushes. You'll also need some paper to make a template for the sash, across the hat some Mod Podge, and some optional gold glitter. So let's start crafting. So the first thing we're going to do is make our template for the sash that goes across the center of the hat. So I'm just going to use some parchment paper because it's easy to see through, and a pen, and trace where the lines are there. Once that's done, I just cut it out with my scissors, and then I'm going to lay it across the hat to make sure that it fits, and then I'm going to cut out my scrapbook paper for both sides of the hat that I'm going to make. So now I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint the whole back of this hat black, and then I'm going to let that set aside to dry for a little while. Once that's dry, I'm going to attach the scrapbook paper using Mod Podge. I just put Mod Podge all over the back of it. Make sure I do a lot near the edges, and then place it on the hat where it goes, and then smooth it out. While that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and paint my little Jenga blocks gold. You don't have to paint them gold. You can paint them any color that you wish, and then you're going to hot glue these on the front of the hat to make it look like a buckle. Now you can also use E6000 or the Fix-All adhesive from the Dollar Tree. And then once that's done, I'm just going to put some Mod Podge on the top of there, and then sprinkle a little bit of ultra fine gold glitter. While that dries, I'm going to go ahead and start putting some twine around the edge of the sash here, just because I wanted to have a nicer finished edge. If you're just using ribbon instead of scrapbook paper, you could probably skip this part. It's really up to you what you want to do. I just put a fine bead of hot glue, and then put the twine around the edges of the hat. Then I glued on 2 little leaves in the corner, and then used my paint marker to draw a swirl at the top of the hat and edge the sides of the hat with the gold marker as well. And that is the finished project for our pilgrim hat. So now we're going to do project number 2, which is the snowman hat, and all we're going to do is flip this over so we can use it all fall and winter. So the supplies you're going to need clearly is one of these hats. You're also going to need some of these little berries if that's what you choose to decorate yours with, some of these little wired garland pieces, wire ties from Dollar Tree, scrapbook paper, or ribbon. I use the scrapbook paper from Paper Studio called Pretty Plaid 1678192. I also use some of these green gems that have the stickers on the back of it, some natural twine, and I'm going to use the white paint marker this time from the Dollar Tree, as well as a little bit of white paint and some black paint. You're also going to need some paint brushes and some scissors, a little bit of hot glue, and of course you're going to need the Mod Podge again. You're going to need that paper template that you cut out, and 3 packs of the winter words from Dollar Tree, which is also optional. So let's start our second project. So the first thing we're going to do is just cut this off. I actually started with the Christmas one first, so you've already done this step. It just depends on which one you start with. So then I'm going to flip this over, and I like the red trim that was in the glitter since it was for Christmas, so I decided to go ahead and leave that. So I'm going to just very carefully paint around the inside edge of that red glitter so that I can leave that on the hat, so it has a nice pretty edge for my snowman hat. So using my small paintbrush, I just lined the inside edge with black paint all the way around, and once I get that done all the way around, I go ahead and just fill in the whole hat with the black paint. So I make sure I use nice smooth strokes. Once I get all the edging done, I just try to make nice long strokes so that it doesn't look choppy, or like you can see the lines and things in it. So it doesn't really matter if you get over the little blue line here a little bit with the black, because we're going to cover it up with the scrapbook paper or the ribbon. So again, I just made the template, which I did earlier. I actually did both of these at the same time. I'm just showing it again in case you guys skipped the beginning part of the video. So you're just going to use some paper and trace that little sash there, cut it out with some scissors, and then you're going to place it onto your hat to make sure that it covers the blue part, and then put it on your scrapbook paper and trace that and cut that out so that we can glue that on for the sash. Now again, you could just use ribbon, it's up to you. I covered that with some Mod Podge and then laid my scrapbook paper sash across the front of the hat. Then I covered it with Mod Podge. I also did this to the Thanksgiving hat. I just didn't show that step because I didn't want to be redundant. So then I'm going to take some of these green gems and I'm going to line that little scrapbook paper sash all the way around because I want it to have a nicer edge on it as well. I think red would have looked really pretty here too, but I didn't have red. I just had green, so that's what I used. Make sure that your paint's all the way dry or else it doesn't want to stick. So just be aware of that. If it's not dry all the way, the little sticky tape that already comes on these gems will not stick. And then you can just bend these around the corner, which is really nice. And it took about 4 strips to get all the way around this little sash here. So once that's done, all I'm going to do is make a little twine bow. They're very easily made. Just wrap them around your fingers about 4 or 5 times and then tie a little tie around the center. I cut off my little berries and I'm going to glue this over in the corner. Now when you're gluing these on, because it's a double-sided project, make sure that you're not gluing them too close to the side or you will be able to see the decorations on either side when it's hanging. So just be mindful of that. So then I went ahead and put on my little twine bow. And now I'm going to add a little bit of detail using some of the white paint and the white paint marker. So I wanted to make it look like it had a little bit of like snowy accents to it and just a little bit more detail to the hat so it didn't look so flat. So taking my paint marker, I just draw like the ridge of the hat at the top and then a swirly Q at the top there. It's really pretty easy. I just freehand it. Now I'm going to take a little bit of water on a paintbrush and a little bit of white paint, and I'm just going to smudge some white paint around the edges, and it actually looks gray. It's so see-through. So you just want a very minimal, small amount of paint on that paintbrush, and then just water it down with a little bit of water. And then again, I just used water to go over where my paint marker was to smudge out that line so it wasn't so thick, and it made it look a little bit more like snow or frost on there. You can even add a little bit of glitter right here at this point because it's wet, it will stick. And so that would be a nice option as well. And this is the finished snowman hat. Other than applying a little word, I had these metal words in the 3-pack that Dollar Tree selling this year for Christmas. So I put a little bit of hot glue on the back of there and put believe on there. And then just replace the twine tie so I can hang this. And this is the finished project for the snowman hat. I love how both of these turned out. I hope you guys did too. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. I read each and every one and try to respond as quickly as I can. And here are some other videos from our channel that you might also enjoy. Have a great week and make sure you check back tomorrow and Friday for our other videos of the week.